Hi everyone, welcome back. So guys, as part of the today's session, we are gonna study a brief overview on APM inspector and why we need to use this particular APM inspector. See, the simple thing guys. So whenever you are working on any kind of a web automation testing, okay, whenever you are working on any kind of a web automation testing, you need to interact with a UI element. Whenever you want to interact with a UI element, you should have the various attributes related to that element. Right, then only your automation tool will go and interact with that particular web element. If you consider Selenium for Selenium within the browser HTML information itself, you will be getting the various sets of attributes related to a particular object and you are specifying those attributes in your program. But for a mobile automation testing, how can you capture the various elements or the various attributes related to a particular any element like a text field, radio button, checkbox, buttons, anything that it is displaying on a mobile app? The answer for this one is APM inspector. Using this, we can identify any element attributes, whichever the web element or whichever the app element is there, whether it is a native or a hybrid app, whichever it might be, we can capture that particular information using an APM inspector. So now I'm searching for download APM inspector in the Google and click on a first link that navigates to this particular APM official website. So here APM inspector official website. I'm working on a Mac machine guys, hence I am downloading the DMG file. If at all you are working on a Windows machine, directly download the exe file and install it. Okay, directly download the DMG file and install it. And once after you install the APM inspector, ideally, whenever you are trying to install it, the first and a foremost thing is it will ask you to move to applications folder. That's the first thing it will ask you to do. And the second thing it will do is when you try to open APM inspector on a Mac, it will block. It won't allow you to open it. Okay, it won't allow you to open it. So in such a cases, you need to navigate to system settings, in which inside the privacy settings, basically you need to allow this APM inspector instance. Okay, you need to allow this APM inspector instance there. So I have done all these things. Now I'm dealing with the APM inspector. So I'm just launching my APM inspector. So the privacy blockage and other things were not there on a Windows machine, that you will be encountering only on an Mac machine itself. Fine. Perfect. So here, when I open this particular APM inspector, this is the screen that it is showing up for me. It is asking for desired capabilities. Guys, if you remember, sometime before we studied about five different desired capabilities. Okay, five different desired capabilities. The first one is, the first one is platform name, platform version. Okay, platform name, platform version, device name, app, and an automation name. These are the desired capabilities. In order to establish a session in your APM inspector to identify the objects, still you need to pass on these desired capabilities itself. Let us see a practical example of all those things right now. Yeah. So let us see how are we gonna pass these desired capabilities. As of now, I wanna establish a session with my Android device itself. So here, the platform name, it's gonna be Android. And the next one is platform version. What is the mobile operating system version? So I connected my phone here I'm going to my settings, about the phone, software information. My Android OS version is a 13 here. So I'm putting my 13 here. Okay, 13. Platform name, platform version, device name. See, basically, this device name, either I can give it as an Android or in the terminal. In the last session, we typed a ADB space devices. This is the device name that we get. Either this Android or this one we can give. Either of these things is correct. Device name, automation name. This is the engine, basically how exactly it needs to establish a connection, which is UI Automator 2. Okay, UI Automator 2. This is the additional capability that we have a passed. And the last one is the app, on which application you want to target it. See, basically, my applications are in the downloads, inside the apps, inside the Android. Probably I'm just using this Android native demo APK. So right click, get info. Okay, get that particular info of that, and I'm coming back here, updating it. So I'm getting the folder path and now the APK file name, and I'm updating this information here, guys. That's it. In order to work on this particular one, okay, in order to work on this particular APM inspector, the thumb rule that you need to consider is make sure that your APM server is started. I haven't started my APM server, hence I am using APM in the command prompt. That will start my APM server. Perfect. And the another thing is in the remote path. Here, earlier with the older versions of APM, we do have slash WebDriver, which is a slash WD slash hub, which is not required for the latest versions. Directly, excuse me, guys, just give me a second. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. So here, directly, I'm just clicking on a start session. So what it's gonna does right now, this capability is whatever you have a passed from your APM server. It will try to establish a session with that particular device. It will try to establish a session with that device. How would we know, Surendra, whether it is establishing a session or not? Means ideally, okay, ideally, the APM settings is the first app that it will launch, and then it will launch the desired application. Say my desired app got launched on that particular mobile, with which I can confirm that the information that I have passed as part of the desired capabilities is valid, and it is trying to establish a connection. Perfect. So here we are getting some error here. An unknown server side exception error. You are having an issue with respect to app activity. So Surendra, we don't know anything about the app activity. What exactly the meaning of this particular activity is? So the error, whatever the inspector is showing up there is, if you have a look into that instance clearly, it launched the app on the mobile device, right? It launched the app on that mobile device, but it terminated that app, and it's showing some app activity error, right? It's showing some app activity error. What exactly the meaning is? So whenever you have a particular APK file, by default there are some activities with which your app is launched, and by default your APM will consider default activities, and it will try to launch the app. But this application isn't working with the default activities. This application is not working with the default activities. Versional error. See, basically, this activity isn't launchable. This activity isn't launchable. Fine. In such a cases, how can we get activity name? Right? How can we get the activity name? Ideally, whenever you are working on your projects, your developer will be giving you this particular activity name. But for us, as we are learning the things, how we will get that? So there is an app which is APK Info app that you can download from the App Store or a Play Store, which gives complete app activities, now what I'm gonna do right now is, on my mobile phone, I'm navigating to the Play Store. I'm navigating to the Play Store, and on this particular Play Store, I'm searching for APK info. I was just searching for this APK info, and I am installing this APK info app, guys. So the reason why you are installing this APK info, as we don't have the app activity name, we will try to get that app activity name using this APK info, and we will specify that app activity name in that particular program. So click on this particular open right now, and here search for that particular app. So the type of app that I want to do is the user. So as a user, I have installed that particular app, right? So let me search for this app that I have installed. Okay, I'm just swiping up on my screen to see that particular app with which we encountered the issue. Just give me a second. Editor emergency SYS files GPay Galaxy. Ideally, if you know the app name directly, you can search with its name. Okay, so I was just looking at all the apps that were installed on my mobile. Okay, I think you are not able to see my mobile. Okay, see, I'm just scrolling down to see this the desired app. Okay, so here, printer. Okay, Swag Labs. This is not the one that we are using right now. Okay, Swag Labs is not the one that we are using right now. Hmm, emergency. Okay, I think this is a bit difficult to find this one. Let me get the app name. I was directly searching one after another. Demo app. Okay, sort by date. Yes. So if you see right now on the visor, this is the one. Click on this, and if you see here, okay, if you scroll down, activities, there are three activities with which this app can be launched. Okay, the splash activity, main activity, and the desired credentials. And if you see the Appium inspector, it tried with the splash activity, it doesn't work. So that's the reason. What I am doing is I'm getting the main activity. Just click on this name, main activity, come back to the document, and put that info whatever you have copied. So this is what the activity is. Copy this activity, go back to your Appium inspector, hit this plus here, app activity. Directly there is a capability which is an app activity capability that you can pass on. And whenever you hit the start session, observe this instance right now, guys, what it's gonna happen. Okay, so this time explicitly I have a specified this particular app activity. So we didn't encounter any error in the Appium inspector, and I was able to establish a session here. If you see the mobile, we are on a different screen. The inspector is on a different screen. In the center of the screen, there is a refresh button, refresh and a screenshot. If I click on it, whichever the latest screen on the mobile is there, it's gonna populate it here. And I am maximizing it. See, whenever I mouse over or any option, at the center portion of the screen, the source code is populating, and on the right hand side, the element information is being populating. Okay, if I choose this web view, see, this is the instance that it is showing up. If I choose this login, so this is the chunk that it's populating. And here on the selected element, you have a tab, you have a send keys. You want to do any options, you can do it here. Even if you want to copy any attribute, just select this, click on it. Automatically, you are getting a copied, which means this XPath is copied that you can use it in your program. So here, choose the drag, the information is there, copy it and use it in your program. And additionally, using the Appium inspector, even you can perform the recording operation also. You can use a start recording and you can perform the actions on that particular mobile. Respective actions will be captured here. Okay, respective actions will be captured here, guys. Okay, so consider that this is the tab that I have done. Okay, just the tab that I have done. See, for this web element and command is being captured. So this is the way how exactly you can use the APM inspector. This is the key thing, guys. Okay, APM inspector is the key thing. Okay, perfectly all right. As part of the next session, we will see how exactly we can start writing down the code that we will see in the next session. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.